High in the mountains of Afghanistan, the air was thin and tense. Two young Marines stood guard on a rooftop, watching over their fellow troops as the sun slowly rose. Everything seemed calm, but in a war zone, calm can disappear in a heartbeat. Suddenly, an enemy fighter appeared and threw a grenade straight toward their position. In that split second, there was no time to think, no time to run. There was only one choice to make. One Marine reacted without hesitation, pushing his friend out of the way and diving toward the deadly blast. The explosion that followed would change his life forever. That Marine was William Kyle Carpenter, and what he did that day became one of the most powerful acts of courage in modern American military history. William Kyle Carpenter was born in 1989 in Flowood, Mississippi, and grew up in South Carolina. Like many young Americans, he felt called to serve his country and joined the United States Marine Corps. He was sent to Afghanistan during the global war on terror, where Marines faced daily danger from enemy attacks, hidden explosives, and sudden ambushes. On November 21, 2010, Carpenter was standing watch with a fellow Marine when everything went wrong. In a moment that lasted only seconds, he chose to protect another life at the cost of his own safety. This video tells the story of how a young Marine became a Medal of Honor hero through one fearless act of selfless courage. William Kyle Carpenter was born on October 17, 1989, in Flowood, Mississippi. He grew up like many American boys, playing sports, dreaming big, and looking for purpose. After high school, he decided to join the United States Marine Corps, one of the toughest fighting forces in the world. The Marines taught him discipline, loyalty, and above all, commitment to the man beside him. He became part of the 2nd Battalion and was deployed to Afghanistan during one of the most violent periods of the war. Kyle wasn't a high-ranking officer or a famous warrior. He was a regular Marine, standing watch over his brothers, but it was his training, his loyalty, and his love for his fellow Marines that would push him to make a decision that few people on Earth could ever make. Life in Afghanistan was harsh and unpredictable. Marines lived in small outposts, surrounded by mountains and villages where danger could appear at any moment. Every day meant watching for ambushes, IEDs, and enemy fighters hiding among the buildings. Kyle Carpenter and his unit spent long hours guarding their position, often from rooftops or bunkers. The work was exhausting and the stress never went away. Even when nothing was happening, everyone knew that an attack could come without warning. Marines depended on each other for survival. They ate together, trained together, and fought together. More than anything, they trusted one another with their lives. Kyle was known as a reliable Marine, someone who could be counted on when things got tough. That trust would be tested in a way no one could have imagined. On November 21, 2010, Kyle Carpenter and another Marine were standing watch on a rooftop. It was early morning, and the area seemed quiet. Suddenly, an enemy fighter appeared and threw a grenade straight toward their position. The small device landed right next to them. There were only seconds before it would explode. Kyle could see it. He knew what it meant. In those final moments, fear didn't control him, instinct did. He pushed his fellow Marine out of the way and threw himself on top of the grenade. The blast ripped through his body, shattering his jaw, destroying his right eye, and causing massive injuries. But the Marine beside him survived without serious injury. Kyle had done what every Marine is taught but very few ever do. He protected his brother at any cost. Kyle Carpenter was rushed to a medical facility, barely alive. Doctors weren't sure if he would survive. He had suffered more than 40 surgeries, lost his right eye, and endured massive trauma to his face and brain. For weeks he fought just to stay alive, but Kyle refused to give up. He endured painful treatments and long months of rehabilitation. Learning to walk, talk, and eat again was a daily battle. Through it all, he never once regretted what he had done. When asked, he always said he would make the same choice again. His strength wasn't just physical, it was mental and emotional. He believed that saving his fellow Marine was worth any price, and in that belief, he showed the true meaning of honor. For his incredible courage and selfless act, William Kyle Carpenter was awarded the Medal of Honor, the highest military award in the United States. In 2014, he stood in the White House, wearing the medal around his neck as the president honored him for his bravery. But Kyle never saw himself as a hero. He believed he had simply done what any Marine would do, yet his actions went beyond ordinary duty. He chose to sacrifice himself so someone else could live. That moment on a rooftop in Afghanistan became a symbol of what it means to serve others before yourself. His story is now part of American history, reminding everyone what true courage looks like. Today, Kyle Carpenter continues to inspire people around the world. He speaks about resilience, teamwork, and the importance of never giving up. Despite his injuries, he lives a full life and encourages others to push through their struggles. His story shows that heroism is not about being fearless, it is about being willing to act when it matters most. Kyle didn't think of himself that day, he thought of his brother, and that selfless choice created a legacy that will never be forgotten. William Kyle Carpenter proved that true heroism comes from love, loyalty, and sacrifice. In one split second, he chose to protect someone else instead of himself. That decision saved a life and changed his forever. His story reminds us that even in the darkest moments, humanity can shine through. He is not just a Medal of Honor recipient, he is a symbol of courage and brotherhood. And as long as his story is told, the meaning of true bravery will never fade.